Welcome, 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 everybody, and to another episode of No Cap, 10 Toes Down. We're in the area, and I found two brothers that I want y'all to know about as well as I do. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves first. First of all, we have my man Kirby. Kirby, introduce yourself.
Well, my name is Minister Hassan Kirby, and I'm the Executive Director of Hope, Love, and Kindness Crisis Intervention.
Okay. And my other brother, Sha, introduce yourself.
So I'm Brother Sean Bay. I'm the Program Director for the Healing Academy.
All right. So we're going to get right into it.
Let's go.
I first came upon you guys through a storyline on Instagram. So could you tell me what did I walk in on and what you guys are about? Take it to whoever want to go first.
Go ahead.
Well, we're here at 500 Springfield Avenue in the great city of Newark, New Jersey, and this is the Community Safe Zone. We've created a safe space. The brother Hassan and myself have created a safe space for anyone in the community to come in, feel at home, do web searching. We have programs. We deal primarily with the youth, but not only with the youth. We deal with wraparound services for the entire community, right? So we do crisis intervention, youth mentoring, anger management, counseling, mental health counseling, and trauma counseling and things of that nature for the youth in our community.
All right. So when did you guys get started? I mean, you was working regular jobs, knew each other from school, or just met each other, you know, through the network circle and put this together?
3 years ago, we met and we was doing work at another location, and we spoke about doing this stuff, having the PS5, the video game, in a safe zone for them to play the games, taking them on different trips and everything. We spoke about it, and then when we finally got the opportunity to get this property right here, named it the Community Safe Zone, and that's how it is. So we met doing this work.
Right.
Okay.
We met doing this work.
Right.
In the summer, to be exact.
In the summer, 3 years
one of the
ago,
summer
right.
safe programs. That's how we met.
When you talk about doing something, just to pin on what he said talking about doing some of the games and stuff like that, is it kind of like bringing some of the after-school programs back?
Definitely. It is definitely bringing the after-school programs to what they desire. Not saying we're going to do this and then tell them this is what we have for you. We want their input on every move that we make here, far as that, far as the trips we take, far as the discussions we have. We want their input because this is supposed to be for the youth. Youth mentoring don't mean you just dictate and beat up on them.
Right.
Okay.
Youth mentoring means wrapping around as a whole individual, whether it's the mental issues or they may have anger issues or problems at home. We want to touch on in school. We want to touch every area of their life. We do fitness with
Right,
them.
right.
We do healthy living and eating with them. So we got all these services that make them a well-rounded individual and young man. That's the whole thing.
Okay. Well, do you guys go around to the schools? Do you go to local neighborhoods? I mean, because since the boys club has been going, I mean, it's no telling where the youth is going as far as I mean, everybody's into basketball, well, most of the youth through high school and sports and stuff like that. But when it comes to arts and craft or skills and labor and stuff like that, like how do you bring that back into a child's life because it's not in the schools really or boys clubs to share that type of stuff?
So before we touch on that point, I just want to add on what my brother said.
Okay.
Because we deal with serious issues like crisis intervention, mentoring, anger management, we have the PS5 here to give like a holistic type of way of healing, right? So we dealing with serious issues, but we also want them to continue to be children. We want them to be kids. We want them to experience their childhood. So we're dealing with meat and potato issues for them to help develop them, but we also want them to kick back, play a video game, feel like a kid again, a teenager, however old they are, and just be able to not only be serious all the time, but also have some edutainment and entertainment, right?
Okay.
So we are definitely in the schools, from Belmont, Runyon to 14th Avenue, Weekway, West Side, and primarily in Barringer now. We go to the schools. We speak with the deans and principals. We speak with the children. They refer students that they believe that will benefit from our program. We get a lot of our referrals from not only school officials, but word of mouth. Moms, pops, dads, uncles, nephews. we stay heavy with boots on the ground in the community, and we get referrals from our community.
Okay, but you don't just deal with troubled youth. You deal with all the youth, correct?
Youth is a youth. I don't care if they trouble or not. If they got ADHD, BBD, it doesn't matter. They can have the East Coast family rocking with them. We're gonna deal with them. Let's be for real.
Right.
We don't care about that. We care about the whole child. And because it's right here, what we're doing so far is we're making the Mondays to Fridays for young men. And on Saturdays, we're going to have something for the young women. The reason being that because I don't want it to be lopsided. Like we got 10 young men and 2 girls. I wouldn't have my daughter in that.
Right.
Okay.
So I wouldn't want nobody else daughter in that. So I got to look at the whole wraparound and safe issues with it also.
Yeah.
In the discussions right now, we're dealing with men stuff. We got ties in here where we'll be teaching them how to tie ties.
Okay.
You don't got to wear a tie every day, but you're going to know how to wear one, and you're going to know how to tie one before you leave out of this program.
Right.
Okay.
And
So you're grooming young men.
Yes.
All right. So how do the women get nurtured in this situation?
the women get nurtured on the Saturday program is the Girls Rock program. I can't speak too much on that.
Okay.
Because one thing we made for sure that only place the men will have on the Girls Rock Saturdays is outside the door to make sure they're protected.
Okay.
Because wherever there's a lot of women, that there should be some type of male presence for the protection aspect of it.
Right.
All right. So is the mayor involved? And if so, how is he involved and how has he participated thus far?
Well, we are recipients of Newark's community-based violence intervention grants, right? So we are grant awardees.
All right.
That's like a part of our funding. So, and that comes from the mayor, that comes from the Office of Violence Prevention, that comes from the Brick City Peace Collective, in which we are members of. So the mayor is in full support. The city council voted for the work that we're doing, as well as other organizations in the consortium. Like I said, all of the community-based organizations in our ecosystem who support us and we support are involved. So we are taking, Newark is moving forward, looking at public safety as a health issue, and we are taking full throttle and using community-based executive measures to, clean up the community and make public safety our #1 issue.
Okay.
And on that question you asked, how's the mayor involved? Before he was the mayor, you got to remember, he marched on these streets with us.
Okay.
So this ain't nothing new. That's why, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention the sign that's in back of us is on the move with God from the street doctor.
Mm-hmm.
So the street doctor and the mayor, before the mayor was the mayor, when the mayor was just the principal. See, people forget that he was the principal at Central. Before he was the principal at Central, he was a principal over at 13th Avenue too.
Right.
So
And we're talking about Ross Brock.
We talking about Ross
Ross
Brock.
Brock.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
So
okay.
he was a principal engaged in the youth before he got in that position.
Right.
And now in the position, and he sees there is other boots on the ground agencies out here that can use the funding to continue to work even more. That's how he's behind this 100%.
Right.
Okay. All right. So most people have a story behind how they got to where they are. All right. So was it circumstances or wanting to give back to the community that got you into this movement?
So for me, it's circumstances, it's lineage. My grandmother was in community activism. My great-grandmother was an activist. And I'm so heavy on youth mentoring myself because I believe that if I had a mentor, I grew up without a dad, right? And because of those circumstances, it led me down a path of street life and later prison, right? But after that, those situations, I turned my life around and dedicated my life to rebuilding the community that I once destroyed, right? So in the name of my grandmother's legacy, in the name of our ancestors who came before us, I made the choice to use my talents and my energy to help build up the community. So when you have that type of energy, you meet other brothers and sisters who pretty much have a similar, if not same story, and you all connect and you build. So, you know, Brother Hassan can tell his story.
Okay.
My story is what pushed my why for what I do is because no one ever gave me the opportunity. No one was there to talk to me like I'm talking to them. No one showed me about, okay, you don't want to go here because of that. They like, it was celebrated to be in the street life. Remember, we had a whole crack epidemic.
Right.
Everybody was making money hand over fist. So it was like what Bing say, the dude Beanie had a movie, Get Down or Lay Down.
Right.
It was one of those type of things. But my life has always been like outside the norm and outside the box. You can go all the way back to my childhood in school. I never fit in your normal boxes. I didn't play basketball, I didn't play sports, I didn't do those things. So I was one of those, my man got a shirt called Tough Nerd. I consider myself a tough nerd.
Yeah.
I wanted to be educated, and I wanted to be tough.
Okay.
At the same time. So what got my wife for this work is because I know it's a need, and I know no one had ever given me the opportunity to be me. And that's what I want them to do. Have the opportunity to be them, not try to emulate or imitate someone else. Because that's what's happening right now. Everybody want to imitate. But you know what, like my man say, be yourself because everyone else is taken already.
Right.
I like that one. I like that one. So this right here, when I think about it and I look at it, it's like a small hospital for children that are malnourished because of the lack of necessity in their homes, as far as in the neighborhoods as well, right? What is one of the common problems? We know that these children are born in single-parent homes, right? But what is a common problem that's common with the boys as well as the girls that you guys usually have to deal with?
But let me say this, Brother Kirby, right? So you spoke about the hospital analogy, right?
Okay.
So we partner together, right? We have two organizations and we partner together. My organization is called the Healing Academy, right? Mm-hmm. So when you come to the hospital, you come for healing, right? And also, in order to get that healing, your physicians and your healers need to have hope that you will make it, love, and kindness.
Yeah.
And that is this brother's organization.
Okay.
Hope, love, kindness,
Okay.
right? So that hospital analogy that you gave fit perfect for who we are in our organizations and what we represent.
Okay.
I just wanted to say that first and foremost, right? Leading into what we see from, I would just say for our collective opinion, or what we see with the young brothers is a lack of leadership, a lack of guidance, a lack of direction, right? Same things that we lacked.
Okay.
My story and his story is the same. It's a perpetual cycle, right?
Right.
Children during their developmental stages, they need nurturing, they need guidance, they need someone to love them, hold them, have hope for them, love, kindness, right?
Right.
Heal their ills and heal their traumas, right? And push them in the right direction. And unfortunately, because of the destruction of the family structure, right?
Okay.
Either mom is in the streets, or dad is in jail, or mom and dad are working, but because they're working so long, the TV and the videos and the streets are raising their children because they don't have time to raise the children because they're trying to make ends meet and put food on the table, right? So either one of those scenarios, the children are not getting the guidance and the nurturing and the love that they need. And when they don't get those things, they go out into the street and they go out into the gangs, the street cultures, which is nothing is wrong with street organizations if it's directed in a negative way and destroying the community, right? Because we are pack animals, right? We always gravitate towards groups, right? So nothing's wrong with that, but the direction of our movements have to be forward and positive, right? And if the youth direction is not forward and positive, then they're going to have destructive behavior.
Okay. All right. Would you like to add to that, bro?
I agree with that because what I'm seeing with the young people that's coming, and this is in the schools and out of the school, is the underlying traumatic disorders that they suffer from. And when I say that, a lot of people be like, oh, where you learn that at? Well, that's not in your DSM-5 and your psychology books is common sense. It has to be something inner
Right.
that comes out,
Right.
no matter what. So a lot of our youth have experienced molestation,
Right.
abandonment,
Right.
placed in foster care or with their grandmothers or someone else. So
Physical
that's
abuse, emotional abuse.
emotional. So they've been coming up with all these things, and instead of us looking and I ain't say understanding them. Instead of looking and understanding them, we're judging them, we're criticizing them, we're beating them up. I asked my brother, what was that? Was yesterday? I asked him. I said, "Somebody, what do you feel about the children smoking marijuana? And what would your take be on if they was to get, they got the vape, they got the edibles, and they got all these other things where it don't have to be smoked."
Okay.
And at first he was breaking down why he against the smoking and everything, and then we was elaborating a little bit on, okay, so if they had to take a medical marijuana edible to be calm, how would you feel? And would you be against that? Because let's be honest here. We pro for Ritalin, all these other
Thorazine,
psychotropic,
Adderall.
Adderall. We're for this for our children. But if we see that, okay, hold on. This ain't working. He took a damn edible, and that joker he the nicest son I ever wanted and I dreamed of. Do you get what I'm saying? And I have to be real about this because we had 14 been smoking since he was
11.
11.
Yeah.
3 years. You 3 years in. What my little peanut head gonna do different to make you stop doing something that you have been turning to as your coping mechanism?
Okay.
Because we all have a coping mechanism. Mine is junk food.
Okay.
I can't go to sleep without eating me a Snicker or a Butterfinger or something.
Yeah.
They can't function without smoking. Some adults can't function without a drink.
Right.
So when we look at this, we can't be so judgmental. We got to look at the other issues that's attached with this. This young boy ain't just smoking just because he want to be down with somebody. He's smoking because he found out, yo, when I'm high, I'm in another world. I ain't even thinking about the last time my mom told me to stay out. Oh, you don't want to come in on time, so you ain't coming in at all. So I had to sleep in garbage. I still got on the same clothes I had on from last week. My drawers so crusty, if I take them on, they stand by themselves.
Right.
Yeah, we not looking at that.
Right.
And you know why we're not looking at it? Because we don't want to admit that we were there before.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
Okay, so now to touch on the gangs a little bit, gangs have gotten a bad name over the last few years.
Totally.
And when I say that, so kids now, at one point used to turn to the gangs. And now that whoever the gang leaders were, when they were younger, they're older now. And so some of them are trying to, if I'm making this word up, I'm saying it incorrectly, retribate back what they done took from the community by redirecting teens, boys, because they can see themselves in there, right? And so I know for you guys, you can only do but so much at a time, right? So after leaving here, they have to go back and deal with whatever they dealt with until the next time they come back here. And I always feel that a person should learn how to be independent before codependent. Why? Because when a person's not around, how are you going to function?
Right.
All right? So like with medicine, learn how to have better eating habits and take care of yourself better so that way when there's no medicine, there's another resolution.
Right.
So for you guys, what do you give the kids to hold on to until the next time they see you?
Starting with hope, love, and kindness, right?
Well, let me start.
We
Listen,
Okay.
Listen. See, and it's funny how you just asked that question. Yesterday, I had a group, right? I got on the guy. I got on one of the children. Like, as a child, as a parent will beat you, I got on him like that.
Okay.
So if he was to come right here and sit right now, he'd say, yo, he whipped my behind yesterday. But that stayed with him till today. When he came in today, what happened? Hey, how you doing? I know I got on you hard yesterday, and it was for this reason. But you're doing better today. So just like I got on you for doing wrong, I'm getting on you for doing the right thing. I appreciate y'all made a vote and said you was gonna be here at 2:30.
Okay.
I thank you for coming back. Cause after I beat you yesterday, you didn't have to come back. The day before, like the fights. I told the dude, I'm straight, I don't got no time to be chasing y'all around. It's too many people need help. I said, bruh, you ain't gotta come back. I didn't come get you. You came because of your friend. And I said, okay, well then welcome to the program. My brother right here was the good cop. I was the bad cop type modality. And
Okay.
it was okay because when he came back the next day, no, we did on Saturday. He came
And
back
then 2
Monday.
days later, he said, "Can I
What-
talk to you? Can I
The
speak to you?"
first thing he did when he came in is ask to come speak to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's what people, and that's what I want to leave. No matter how messed up you feel things with, you should be able to go back and mend it.
Right.
That's what this is about. Because whether it's their mother, their father, whoever they got that inner hatred for or that inner hurt from, I need to teach them how to fix it.
Right.
And
Okay.
And at the end of the day, you have a lot of adults that are scared to death of our youth.
Yeah.
But they're still
True.
the youth. They're still children. They're still kids.
Right.
Right? But as men, as grown adults, we have to be secure within ourselves and understand that we're still dealing with a child, right?
All right.
I don't care if he carry a big gun or a big stick or whatever if he a big homie, right? Whatever he is, he's still 16, 17, 15, 11, and we're not supposed to be scared of them because they're still our children. Without them, we have no future in our community, right?
Right.
So with that being said, once you realize that, what do children want? What do kids want? They want somebody that's going to love them. They want somebody that's going to be consistent. They want somebody that's going to be persistent. And they want somebody that's going to make them feel wanted. Because these four elements is what's missing out of their life, right? They're not getting love from home. The person that's supposed to love them is not being consistent and persistent with them. Maybe they've abandoned them, like Brother Kirby said. Maybe they've betrayed them. We're dealing with a lot of betrayal issue, and all of that is trauma, right? So we're dealing with young people who have been traumatized, right?
Okay.
And once you know that and you understand that, you have to give these youth some consistency. You have to show them that you love them. They're going to buck you for a while. They're going to curse you out. They're going to do all kinds of things to test you. But that's really a test to see if you really care, because my mother didn't care, my dad didn't care, my stepdad didn't care, my uncle didn't care. Who the F are you to make me believe that you're going to care about me? Right? So this is where we have to stay strong on our square. And if we're going to do this work, we have to understand. Before this interview, the brother just was telling me, you have to understand what you're dealing with. It was a different subject, but it's the same concept.
Okay.
You got to understand what you're dealing with, and when you understand what you're dealing with, it should be a little easier for you to work through the barriers, because you know what you're dealing with. And we're dealing with traumatized youth, right? So they just need those elements that we spoke about.
And it's funny you just said that, because you know what? I just caught a flash in my head. Like, everybody know how to deal with that cousin or that nephew or that brother that's the thief.
Right.
You know he the thief. You know if you leave anything sitting around,
He
he's
gonna take
taking
it.
So
Right.
when you know he coming over for Thanksgiving or the holidays, what you do?
You're going to hide that stuff. You're going to move it.
It's the same principle with life.
Okay.
If once you are aware of the situation, then you know how to address it. Now, if you want to be boo-boo the fool and act like you don't see what's really going on, then you get those results. But once you see, okay, this person is suffering from these type of traumas. Traumas is like grief. There's no getting over, period. No doctor, no psychologist, no psychiatrist can say, okay, well, that happened 6 months ago, or that happened 10 years ago, you should be over it. No, because you never know what reactivates a trauma in someone.
Okay.
And that's as long as you're going in with that with the youth, you'll be way different. Like, I don't know, even yelling at him yesterday, I could have sounded like his father or some other authoritative figure.
Okay.
And he could have simply bucked, like, man, but he didn't.
Right.
because even though I may have sounded like that, it came from a caring spot.
Okay.
And that's what makes the difference in this.
Right.
All right. So now, based on you guys telling me this, that's a lot of work for you guys. Are these guys in the community pitching in just as much as you guys are? I mean, I seen Tut with the new direction, and my hat goes off to him. That's a big thing because a lot of these guys were looked at, whether they know it or not, as cool when they were young and coming up. But then sometimes they forget that the baton that they handed is the baton that was handed to them. So are they stepping up? Are they coming in here? Are they making a force to be reckoned with just as well as you guys?
Well, what we'll say is, I won't judge whether they're coming or not. We'll just invite them to come in,
Okay.
right?
All right.
Those who want to work with us and volunteer in any capacity, collaborate, coexist in, some type of work capacity. We're at 500 Springfield Avenue in the great city of Newark, New Jersey. I like to say that, right? Because this is actually a great city, right? And help us, work with us. Share your resources, share your time. There's all hands on deck. There's never a shortage of work to be done when you see our community. So whether they're working with us or not, I will say that this is a chosen work, right?
Okay.
Because what Brother Kirby, I believe my good brother Kirby said, we've been doing this before funding. We was doing this when it was free, doing it for nothing. We've been doing this community work over 20 years. I have, and the brother has probably been doing it longer than me, right?
Okay.
So when there was no monetary compensation in game, right? So when you're doing things like that, that means you have a calling, right? From the ancestors, from the Creator, from your God, and it's just something that you have to do. The fact that we're it's work is a benefit now, right? It's a benefit on what we were doing anyway and before, and what we'll do after. We're able to have connections to more resources, funds to do more things, areas that we can tap into that at one point we weren't able to tap into. So it's great. The work is expanding. We're enjoying it. We're loving it. We're moving forward with the work. We're growing with the work. And the brothers that are out there that maybe haven't stepped up, we need you all to step up. Come see us. Come join us. Work with us. Be a chaperone, a tutor, whatever the case may be. If you didn't do anything before, you can do something now.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
And I'm with that also because I tell the guys, I know mostly everybody who do the work out here. Whether they're getting grant money or not, for the most part, I know a lot of them, been at some meetings or some type of positions. And now that this is open, I welcome them all. I like, yo, come on through, man. We run the groups, we do this. You welcome. Do directions, Tut. We have one young brother from the community right now. He came here every day, faithfully, just to check on us while we was getting it together. And when we got together, he still come and check on us like, listen, bro, any way I can help, I'm here. So we got people pulling up already saying any way they can come here and help.
And the brother named Murder. Brother named Murder, giving saying I can help any kind of way. You know what I'm saying?
We are very fortunately and blessed. Our ancestors really
touched us
and touched this spot because even next door we have a relationship with the barber.
Right.
Word.
We have a salon next to that one.
Yeah.
We got it's
the pharmacy
down the street and the pharmacy.
Right.
So we got
the pharmacist came in here and shook our hand and said, we're gonna bless this place. We hope you do well. We're gonna be doing work with the barber next door for any needy youth who are victims of violence, gun violence or crime. We're going to make sure that we sponsor haircuts for them. And they be able to get a haircut next door because, you get clowned, right, for not having your hair cut, and that may cause you to lash out, right? Or you may not be able to afford a haircut, and that may cause you to lash out or do some type of crime out here to get some money. So anything that we can do to try to alleviate and offset the inclination or instinct for some of y'all young brothers to go out there and do crime, we're going to do that here at the Community Safe Zone. We already have been doing that here at the Community Safe Zone.
All right. So I only got 2 more questions for you guys. And these are more for the viewers that want something for themselves as looking at what you guys are doing. So for the fathers that don't know what's going on in their kids' life because they're too busy at work. Some of them just have to be gone out of necessity. If they would have said, okay, so based on what you've guys learned about today's kids, what should I be doing more in my household with my child, male or female? What would you offer advice to?
My advice is make time for your child the way you make time for everything else.
Right.
So you can't use that excuse, I have to work, I'm on the road 24/7. You make time when you get off to go get your Ciroc, your Henny, or whatever it is to get your head right. Make that same time to get your child head right.
Exactly.
So it's that simple. It's no big formula.
Right.
A lot of ingredients.
Right.
Use the same time that you use for yourself for your children.
Right. You have to invest in your children. You have to spend time with them, like my brother said. Time it's an investment, right? So in every investment, you would expect a return, right? So you put your money into a 401k or a retirement plan or into a business, you're expecting a return, right? So the same thing with your children. You invest in them, you teach them, you love them, you rear them, you nurture them, and you will get the return. Even if you stray away, even if they stray away at some point, they will come back because you invested in them, and you will get that return. Many of us strayed away from good teachings of our parents, but then we eventually came back because they put in that work, that investment, and that time in us. And when you're developing as a child, I don't care, you may stray away from that, but you'll never forget it, and it'll always pull you back.
Right. True.
Side note, investing in your children is not no damn Jordan.
Right.
Thank you.
Not no PS5.
Yes.
Right.
All those things are pacified.
Right.
Okay.
Pacification is not investment.
Right.
Something to keep your kid busy while you're not there.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're superficial.
Yeah, they're superficial. They go
No
away.
substance.
Investing in your child, I guarantee, like one thing, and I know this to be true. My daughter's like 30 and 29. They remember 3 and 4 when I took them together to go for their birthday and made one buy something for the other, although it was her birthday. So it wasn't the fact of what I gave them, it was the time that I spent taking them.
Right.
I could buy them all the gifts all day. Hey, I'm buying you, out. Here go a new pair of sneakers, gone.
Right.
Here go this, gone. Where's the hug?
Right.
Where's the simple I love you?
Right.
You don't even rub. I seen, when did it come a time where a child could be on the phone? Can you bring me a glass of water?
In the same house.
You in the same house. Can you bring me a glass of water? LOL. Who you tell your mother laugh? Who tells their parent that?
Right.
Oh, man, no. And I see that. I've seen it where I didn't even know what Aggie was. I tell the story all the time. I did not know what the word Aggie was when they were saying it. So my stepdaughter was like, you Aggie. She kept saying this to her mom. I'm like, what the hell is Aggie? I go to the school. I said, come here. I said, what, Mr. Kirby? I was like, what is Aggie? I said, Mr. Kirby, you don't know what Aggie is? I'm like, no, what is Aggie? I'm dead serious now because I feel like I'm being played. Like, no, what is Aggie? He's like, that's aggravated. So all the time she calling her mom aggravated. Her moms don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
And it's going on. And that's why we got to get back to spending time. Because ain't no way I'm going to tell my daughter or my son to bring me a glass of water through no text. I don't care what you're doing. I said bring me a glass of water.
Right.
I said make your bed up. Oh, when I finish playing this game because I'm getting ready. What?
Right.
You playing the game, you gonna tell me no to play it? No. How about I take the game?
Right.
And these children, they find ways to get around that.
Yeah.
They take their phone. Now you find them on their other devices doing the same thing they can do on their phone.
Yeah.
But we just gotta get back to that simple. Not what you did in school today, where's your homework at, but how are you?
How are you?
Right.
How do you feel?
How you feel?
You know, now that when you say that, I rarely got asked that when I came in from school.
Right.
So
How was your
Yeah, 'cause
day?
it
How do
wasn't
you
taught.
feel?
It wasn't taught. We act off of what we learned and what we was taught. And if we're taught, we was taught the grass is green on the other side. That's what you heard and that's
Yeah.
what you was taught. Which is a lie.
Most times
Because
it's
once you
not.
turn the grass over, it's dirt.
right.
So how is the grass green on the other side when it's dirt?
I never thought about it like
Right.
that.
See?
But that's
So-
another way of putting
and
it.
that-
Yeah.
And that's what we do. We transfer our behaviors. We transfer
To the
our
next
experience
generation.
to the next generation till somebody has the gall to stand up and say, "It's enough." All of our leaders that we've ever had, they had a gall. They had an inner thing in them from the ancestors to stand up. You got Malcolm on your, you got Freddie, you got leaders on your shirt right now who took the stand to stand up. They wasn't taught to stand up.
Right.
Because everybody that you have on your shirt, their family came from the submissive thing. Master said, jump, ha ha, boy, don't you back talk, master. And that's what happened.
Right.
That's what happened. So we have to go back and embrace the whole thing of communication with our children. Simple, I love you. Like, you don't be surprised. Do it yourself. Take a
Right.
day, one day when you're doing your show, just welcome. When last time your moms or dad told you they love you? Last week. Last week?
Yeah.
That's a whole 7 days ago.
Right.
They didn't take, and those are the little things missing. And once they keep growing up, they don't do it.
Yeah.
I love you is like a what? I love you like, who you talking to? What's that?
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Like-
a new word?
Right.
Yeah.
So spending time is the most important thing.
Very.
Yeah.
So we're gonna close off. I would like for you guys to, just take a moment and just explain to people what your message is through your actions and your organization, and just let them know how they can reach you. But I'll leave that information at the bottom of the screen during the interview for both of you guys. But what's your overall message, and how do you want your legacy to continue?
Give them the message, and I'll give the safe zone.
The message is, if you need it and we can help you, we're here.
Okay.
The
Simple
community
and
safe
sweet.
zone, the door is open.
Okay. All right.
Right. Community Safe Zone, the doors open, 500 Springfield Avenue, Newark, New Jersey. If you want to use our facility for print, copy, homework help, resume writing, you can do it here. If you want to bring your sons here or your daughters here on Saturday and your sons here from Monday to Friday, we're here. Counseling, anger management, mentoring, crisis intervention. We're doing that here. We're going to be teaching them how to read and write music. We're going to be teaching them life skills, life coaching. We're going to be teaching them mock job interview skills, because we want to develop them. Self-esteem building, self-worth building. We want to groom them into strong men and women in our community, so we can continue to push our great city forward, push our community forward, and push our people forward.
So let us know how we could see you brothers on social media. Like, where do we find out more information? Website, I'm gonna add it, but we need to hear it from you guys.
So we have an Instagram page, but you're gonna make me change it to the Community Safe Zone, right?
Okay.
Because
Okay.
right now it's the Healing Academy Newark, but we're
Okay.
gonna change it to Community Safe Zone
All right.
on Instagram. You could email us at safezonenewark@gmail.com. We on 500 Springfield Avenue. You could follow me on IG, Sean Bay the Trainer. You could follow Brother Kirby at
I don't know what I'm on. I'm just on there.
Hassan Kirby 1, I think.
I think I'm Mr. Kirby 20 or
Right,
Instagram.
Mr. Kirby 20. Mr. Kirby
Instagram.
20.
Well, to my viewers, I will make sure I get this information and post it in the description below. But at the same time, they got my attention, and so I want them to have your attention. fellas, I appreciate y'all.
We appreciate
on
you,
No
bro.
Cap, where we keep it 10 toes down. You guys are keeping it 10 toes down in the community, and the community thanks you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate for having me. All right.
Thank you, brother.
All right.